Good morning. It's Sunday, November 9th, and it is the feast of the dedication of the Lateran Basilica in Rome. And so this is a very interesting day. I'll talk about the readings briefly, but it's going to lead into a broader discussion of the temple in general. So the first reading for today is uh, the one in uh, Ezekiel, talking about the temple being rebuilt, and the water will flow from the temple, and the water will even make the salty sea pure. And that just tells you how important the temple really is um, in the life of the church. Um, the second reading is from Corinthians, and Paul is talking about we are the temple. We are the body of Christ. And then the gospel today is that magnificent story of Jesus overturning the money changers and running off the oxen and and disrupting the temple and saying, don't make it a marketplace. Um, so all of this has to do with the temple. So let's talk about historically, the temple was the center of things in Jerusalem. And when Jesus did this, he brought a lot of attention to himself. And really, a lot of people think this is when the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for his being condemned and ultimate crucifixion. So why is this important, and what is the whole situation with this Lateran Basilica in Rome? So here's the setup. Um, the Lateran Basilica in Rome was built in the 300s. It was the very first church to be built after Christianity was legalized. Before then, all the Christians had to worship secretly and were in fear of their life because there was persecutions by many of the emperors. But this was the first church built, and it's a magnificent church. Turns out that it is the church for the Bishop of Rome. The Bishop of Rome is, of course, the Pope. So this is the Pope's church, and every cathedral in a diocese um, has a chair called the cathedra, and that's the chair of the bishop of that diocese, and that's where the word cathedral comes from. So this is the Pope's church. This is where the Pope's chair is, and therefore this is the mother church of all Catholics. Now, what I really want to talk about more than that is what Jesus says: tear down this temple, and in 3 days I will rebuild it. And they make fun of him, say, we've been building this church for 46 years, you're going to rebuild it in 3 days. He says he was talking about himself. He will be raised from the dead in 3 days, and he was. And what we have to take from this theologically is that he is the new temple, and we know that because he tells us that. And because he is the new temple, we don't have to really focus on a building as the temple. We can have a lot of churches to worship, but they are not the temple. The focus is not the building. The focus is Jesus Christ. He is the heart and soul of the church. He is the foundation of the church. And so when I was studying at the seminary for the Master's in Theology, one of the topics we discussed was this whole idea of Jesus being the temple and how that converts to us, because we're the body of Christ as the church. And so that kind of leads you to say that we are the temple, and he is the foundation and we are the temple, is what a lot of theologians say. And so what does that mean for us? That means that Jesus lives in us and we live in him. And because of that, we are his eyes, hands, feet in the world. And so St. Teresa of Avila actually has a prayer like that, that he has no eyes but ours, no hands but ours. And what that means is that in the world, we are his, we are what people see, how people see him in the world, and how they see him is representative of the way we live our life. So today, I think the focus of this whole day is to live our lives in a way that reflects the fact that Jesus is the new temple. His body went to heaven and left us as the body of Christ, the church of God, the church of Jesus Christ. And because of that, we are called to evidence his presence in the world by the way we live our life. So today is Sunday. It's a joyful day. Sundays are days of celebration. I wish you well. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And you pray for me. I'll pray for you. God bless.